You are listening to the HP Outdoors Waterfowl Podcast, episode 67. On this episode of the show, with Christmas time around the corner, we put on our Santa Claus hats and help you finish out your Christmas list. All right, welcome to the 67th episode of the HP Outdoors Waterfowl Podcast. We are your on-demand audio source for all things waterfowl and waterfowl hunting. You can check us out at hpoutdoors.com across all the social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can get us on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, coming soon to Spotify. The show is all over the place. Anywhere you can find quality podcasts, we are there. And for you all that are just getting onto the show, welcome. We've got a lot of new listeners that have come to the show recently. For many of you that have been around for a while, you already know this. But for the new folks, we have a listeners group on Facebook. It's the HP Outdoors Waterfowl Podcast listeners group. It is linked to the HP Outdoors page. If you want to come and chat with us and talk with a lot of the listeners of this show, definitely request access and we can get you on in there. That group has been growing like crazy lately and a lot of good stuff going on in there. So make sure to check that out. Joining me this week, as he always does, is my good friend, Minivan Dan Harushka. Dan, what's up, dude?
Dude, I cannot stop laughing right now.
Why?
Oh, because I just got... Yeah. All right, for anyone listening, Josh, before we got on here, posted on the Facebook group a little picture of his setup, and then we kind of had a beard off, and he owned me, and then Vandekamp put his rug on there, and it's just huge. Well, then they're talking about the number that we have, and they're pretending what they would say if they actually called in and got on the air, and it's pretty funny. That's all.
I'm going to have to check this out. That is the thing, though. We do have a listeners group phone number. I don't know if it's still set up, but somebody could call and try it.
Oh, dude.
What is the number?
Okay,
724-609-FOWL, I think is the number.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they said. Something, foul. And then... Dude, so this Joshua McElroy. It has a picture of Larry King, a meme, and it says, "We now go to Des Moines, Iowa. Caller, you are on the air." and then it has him saying,
"This is the worst episode in the history of the show."
I know. I can't even read it. It says, "Long."
He says, long time, first time here. Josh, what's your favorite duck? Thanks, I'll hang up and listen. Oh, good stuff. See, that's the kind of humor you get in the HB Outdoor Group. Dan, turn your mic off or something. Compose yourself. Anyway, as we'll let Dan gather himself here. But this episode of the show, we basically wanted to talk a little bit about, the Christmas season's coming up, and I'm sure we've all got our Christmas list of items that we want, and we figured, hey, let's do a waterfowl version of our Christmas lists. And some of these things are Christmas list items that, we legitimately may be asking for. Others are things that we, maybe you want to ask for or hadn't thought about, or just give you some good ideas to kind of kick around and drop some hints to the wife and stuff like that if you're in the market of any of these areas. So we're going to go through that a little bit here on this episode and hit a couple different price points and kind of stuff like that. So hopefully that'll help you maybe finish out your list if you're in need of something else to get. Dan, are you good now?
I'm back. Yeah, I had to exit out of that because I was laughing so hard.
Let's get a softball for you here to ease back into it. What's the weather like in your hood?
Holy moly. 12 degrees currently. Outside, real feel of 4.
Are you in the garage right now? Full Carhartt kit?
No.
Or?
No, the wife let me inside today, so I'm at the kitchen table with drinking water that's not frozen. So
Nice.
12 degrees. We're supposed to get up to a foot of snow tonight. I think 10 to 12 inches. Another 4 tomorrow. So we're locked up. Shallow waters are locked up.
Get some.
Yeah. Cold front that we've been waiting for.
I'm also in a new recording setup here this evening. My wife's out of town, so my son's upstairs sleeping, so I had to move to the main level of the house. And it's got me all discombobulated right now. I mean, it's a garage sale up here on the table. It looks like your truck every day, just crap everywhere. Pretty difficult to work in, but I'm gonna tough it out.
My truck's so bad right now.
Oh, I have no doubt.
It's so bad. So, hey, so you haven't been hunting at all lately?
Well, I mean, our season hasn't been in like duck season or goose. It hasn't been in much. So our split starts tomorrow. Today is what is today? Tuesday, the 12th. And our split opens back up tomorrow. So I will be out on the river on Saturday.
Nice. Very nice.
I did some deer hunting. Forgot how bad that sucked. So I stopped. And I did a waterfowl hunt again.
You got your yearly reminder.
Yep, I did. Didn't kill anything. So yeah, felt good about it.
I got a nice buck down, which I was about 15 minutes from calling it quits for the day, and he popped out, and I shot him.
So you took my advice, right?
No.
When you thought you were done, just wait 30 more minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was an old school reference.
Popped out, and it was one of our smaller legal bucks that I have on camera, and I wasn't going to shoot him, but I realized that he had a wound on his back. He'd been shot prior, and it was from archery season, and I could actually see pus coming out of it. And he looked healthy. It's one of those that, should I take him to make sure he doesn't get gangrene? How old's the wound? But it happened so fast that I saw he was wounded. There's no hair around the wound, and I decided to take it into my own hands, and now he's going to be some good food. So
yeah,
that was the end of the deer season, and now let's see here. Our duck season is out because Pennsylvania's miserable, and it'll come back in the 26th through the 30th, and then it's out for the year. So, let's see. Local goose came in today, actually, I think. And then RP zone comes in on Saturday. So I can get back after the honkers here for a bit and go from there.
Yeah, hopefully you're able to get, deploy that massive diver spread that you procured this off season for 5 days here at the end of the month. And
it's pretty miserable, isn't it? But we didn't, once again, I didn't see, there's one day that I saw some divers on the lake, and that was about it. Yeah. That being said, Presque Isle is just on fire right now. Guys are crushing up there.
Yeah,
so
why don't you ever hunt that?
Just don't got time, dude.
You got time to shoot deer out the back door.
Yeah, but I can also be in the house in 10 minutes to help if needed. So, just one of them things.
Did you ask your wife for permission to record this episode tonight?
Of course.
Okay, good. I didn't want to get you in trouble. Everybody knows we have to ask permission to do everything around here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Standard practice. All right. So anyway, let's enough about that. Let's talk a little bit about. Okay. Go ahead.
One more thing before. I was reading that Michigan is working to open up sandhill crane hunting, which I think some guys mentioned that before, but there's an obvious fight from the Songbird Coalition that's going on with them, but they're trying to push it. It seems to be they're becoming a nuisance to farmers, so hopefully Michigan becomes the next state to allow that. Hopefully.
It's just a sign of the times. You can't do anything without a fight these days, right?
Yep.
Literally anything.
Miserable.
Starts a fight. So good times for that crap. But anyway, let's talk about Christmas lists. And, not to offend anybody here, but we're going to use Christmas just in generally speaking. So whatever. Anyway, what we thought we would do was kind of approach it from several different price points so that, maybe we're starting with a stocking stuffer or something like that, and then working our way up to, bigger gifts. And, everybody's budget's a little bit different. So we'll try to hit kind of everything in between for everybody. And again, some of this is stuff that we want and we like. Other stuff is things we think are good values and, useful products or whatever. And then some are just kind of like, yeah, it'd be really nice to have something like that. So take it for what it's worth, but hopefully, it'll be something that you get benefits out of. And I think what we decided on, Dan, was what, $25, $50, $100, $200, and then just an unrestricted number. So whatever your just kind of dream gift would be, if you're so fortunate enough to be in a position to do that. So, Dan, why don't you start us off with, and I should caveat this one more time. When we say like $25, $50, it may not be exactly that, right? It's in the realm,
right, in the ballpark
of that number. So give or take a couple bucks here or there, whatever, but you get the idea. So, all right, Dan, start us off. $25.
Yeah, $25. I think one item that I have and I think is pretty cool is the finisher. I don't mind ringing birds' necks, but since I got the finisher and slide that right in the cavity, the brain cavity, it is much quicker and just seems more ethical, and not always ringing the neck always kills the bird. So this is it's a finisher. It does what it's supposed to do, and I think it humanely, finishes the life. So that would be that's a $14.99 gift there, and it is not. I think it's definitely worth it. So
yeah, I got one too. I do like it. I use it. Mine, for whatever reason, I've had not like 100% finished success. Probably user error, I guess. But I think that they came out with a second version that the point on it, for lack of a better term, is longer a little bit. And it
gets up in there. Yeah,
scrambles the brains a little better than what the original one does. Not that the original one doesn't work, because it does. But I think the other one takes the user error capability out of the equation and lets you really do it. And I mean, I think this is important too, particularly, I think we talked about this before, but if you got kids and stuff, young hunters you're trying to introduce, I mean, it's not a great look to just be flopping honkers around in the air, helicopter style. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think it's just an easier way to do that thing. And, I agree. It's a better way to go.
If you harvest a once in a lifetime bird and you're not trying to, really tear it up, I think that even a finisher, sliding that in the back of the head would not mess up a mount compared to what you'd have to do,
Potentially. Yeah.
Good product. Good product.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
$15.
Yep. All right. Mine is a little bit more than yours. It comes in at $29.99, and it's the Avery Power Lanyard. I think that's the lanyard that you have. It comes in the Avery KW1 or the Buck Brush. Here's why I like the lanyard. It's got these rings that kind of adjoin sections in the main line that you hook your droppers to. So that fixes one of my major issues, is the calls all clumping together and being tangled.
Wait, do you have one of these?
I don't. I've messed with them extensively, but I haven't bought one because the lanyard that I have now accomplishes essentially the same thing that this would. But what this one does and mine doesn't, it does give you the option for 4 calls. Mine only gives you the option for 3. I probably wouldn't run it with 4 calls because the 2 on the same ring would tangle and that would irritate me. So I would probably only run it with 3. So I do like it though, because it's versatile. You can clip them on and off pretty easily. Just kind of an all around good lanyard. Again, there's people listening to this show that couldn't care less about lanyards, and I get that, right? I mean, they'll tie a shoestring around their neck and hook their call to it, and they're good with that. That's cool too, if that's your deal. For me, I like stupid nuance, and lanyards tend to fall into that category for me. So as I've talked ad nauseum about on the show, I've got a bunch of them. Oddly enough, this isn't one that I would buy or that I own, but I would buy it if I was still on the hunt for a lanyard that fit my needs. So if you're in the market for a lanyard, if you're like me and you're having issues, it'd be a good one to try out, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's comfortable. I like the little wool on the back of my neck. It's very soft. I like it.
Yeah, and I will tell you, I don't love the extra material on the back of my neck in the early season when it's hot. But for me, that's like, a couple hunts a year that I have to deal with that. So it's worth the trade-off. And as a side note, we're getting some like serious wind gusts right now. So I don't know if y'all can hear that, but my house sounds like it's about to blow over. Anyway. Yeah.
Hey, I got some more in the shallow range here. The cheap range. I say 0 to 25.
Do you, Dan?
So I've been seeing some deals on the Gore socks.
Of course you have.
Well, not only the Gore socks, but also one I don't have, and I've been trying to find them, are First Light. I think they're called heavyweight socks. And they're also mostly merino, and those are $24.99. And I've been trying everywhere to find them, and I can't find them. So if anyone can find them, send me a link. I'd appreciate it.
Yeah,
but most of them are sold out everywhere.
First Light makes good crap, no doubt.
Yeah,
I'm interested in some base layer options that they have.
Why are you hating on my Gore socks?
Oh, I'm not. If someone farts at Sitka or Gore, you know it. You hear about it. So you're plugged in over there.
There's some with I think it was like buy one, get two pairs or something. I thought I saw. Maybe.
Yeah, Camo
was
Fire
that Sierra Trading? I think Sierra Trading Post had it.
Yeah, Camo Fire. I see Gore socks here from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm actually sitting here with the Cabela's and the Max Prairie Wing catalogs open. And another one that I'll say that's a good, cheap option. I don't know about other people, but like when I'm in the field all day and I'm blowing my calls a lot and stuff, my lips get chapped as all get out. So Max has those clip-on neoprene holsters for your chapstick.
Mm-hmm.
They're like $6. I love those things. Cause without chapstick, I'm miserable when there's wind and stuff out there. So again, nuance, it's kind of my thing.
Yep. No, that's, especially if you're calling a lot, which when you're diver hunting, you're not calling too much, but, it still tears you up.
How would you know, Daniel?
I don't know. It's what all these diver hunters tell me.
Right. No, you're not far off there. You're good.
Anyway.
All right. Let's go to 50 bones. What do you got?
50 bones. All right. One, I think it is $60 actually, is the Stingray Industries Pathfinder light. And there's a few things that I like about this light. One, it's super bright. It's not like a giant beam of light, but if you're like in A-frame blind or just walking a path, like instead of having to look every which way to get light, you can clip it onto your belt or whatever. And it's really nice to have. On the other hand, it has a magnet. So if you needed something like outside your truck or outside your trailer, you can just plop it onto your truck and it's a magnet and lights everything up there. So, getting ready in the morning is pretty nice to have that around. And also, it charges your phone. So if you have a cable and there's still power left in it, it'll charge your phone when you're out in the field. My phone there's a few things that I don't like about my phone. One, when it gets super cold, it seems to shut off all the time. And sometimes when it shuts off, even when there's battery, I need to plug it into something to get it to turn back on. So that's actually a good option. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that happens to.
What do you have? The iPhone 6? 7?
That's a 7.
Really? I don't have those issues on my phone. Who knows? But yeah, that's cool. You can,
what kind of case do you have?
Just like a little, I don't know, cheap nub thing from Amazon. I don't have like an OtterBox or anything crazy.
No, me neither. That's why I always thought like the Life Proof maybe kept it warmer or kept retained heat in it. I don't know, but I don't have that. And
I usually keep my phone in like a chest pocket of my my Hudson jacket or something like that. So it usually doesn't get like frigid cold. Stays okay. But that is cool that you can charge your phone on that because, you know, for me, usually when I'm hunting, I'm in areas where I'm not getting great signal. So my phone battery drains anyway because it's like hunting harder or whatever.
Right.
So it's just nice. The more crap you can plug it into to charge it up, the better. I mean,
yep.
Money.
So there you go. That's a $60.
Okay. Well, I'll balance it out a little bit and go mine. I think mine are like $39.99, but mine's going to be the foam filled divers from Higdon. Their standard size. I mean, those things I've got, I don't know, several dozen of them, and I beat the crap out of those decoys. I mean, I don't baby them at all. I transport them in the, Ryobi leaf bags. I don't do anything to them other than hunt them, and they look great, super durable, cost effective. I mean, $40 for 6. That's just really hard to match that. Foam filled. Really been really pleased with that decoy and would recommend anybody that's looking to get in particular on divers, because for me, I won't hunt a diver decoy that's not foam filled. I just think you're just asking for sinking decoys. So even if I bought diver decoys that weren't foam filled, I would fill them myself. So this just cuts down the work. They're smaller. Admittedly, the standard size is a little bit small for my situation where I don't have a big boat to hunt out of. It's perfect. I love it. I'll take numbers over size for my situation. So if you're looking for a cheap way to get, build up your spread or, to add a particular species, ringnecks, buffleheads, whatever, they got the full lineup, I think now. So definitely a decoy that I would recommend.
Mm-hmm.
And I got one more in that range if you don't.
Have at it.
Okay. Another thing that I'll say, and again, right now, this time of year, you can get some really good deals on some of this stuff. So, it's a little bit different, but, Rogers slotted decoy bags are some of my favorite waterfowl items in the market. They're just awesome bags. And, their bags kind of seem to be priced where a lot of the major names were when I started first kind of buying this type of bag. And it's, the slotted bags for my honker decoys and stuff like that. Back in the day, when you used to be able to buy an Avery bag for like $30, $40. Now you can't get an Avery or a Rig'em Right bag for under like 70. The bags themselves almost cost as much as it does for like half a dozen decoys, it seems like anymore. So Rogers are a little more economical, and then, they do run sales on those and stuff. So you can get a Rogers 6-slot decoy bag for honkers, for in the $40, $50 range fairly regularly. So definitely would recommend that. And
what's the quality on those?
They're good. I mean, I've never had one tear. Never had. I mean, they honestly, they're probably made by one of the big names, and they just throw the Rogers stamp on there instead of like Dakota or Rig'em. Probably comes from similar manufacturing channels. So, I mean, I've never had any issues. I've had other big names tear for sure, particularly if you run. And if you do, God bless you, but I don't know why you would, because I do, and they're super heavy and not worth it. But I've got some foam-filled honker decoys that weigh a metric ton. Ooh. And my bags are totally gutted. The dividers on the inside are all ripped out. The nylon or whatever that is that scrunches up around the top, all of that is completely ripped out, because when you lift the bag, it's so heavy, like every seam stresses. So yeah, those things.
Those are Rogers ones?
No, those are not Rogers ones. My Rogers ones have done.
Are those?
I don't really want to dog the company, because, the version that
are they the same ones that I have that also ripped?
Possibly. I mean, it was the company's first running of bags. So I'm hopeful that they've improved on that and that they're a little more durable now. But
gotcha.
I don't know. Anyway, I can vouch for the Rogers ones. Would definitely recommend them.
Nice. We're getting people outfitted here. This is good.
And talking about deals, and we talked about this before we got on. I just got some of the tangle-free one-piece Canada goose floaters this week, and I mean, I think I paid $50 or whatever for 6, and I mean they're completely fine. You know, I mean, they will kill birds. I'm 100% convinced. So if you're looking to build your floater honker spread, you're not going to find a better price than that. I mean, if you're looking, you know, the tangle-free one-piece are probably the cheaper ones you can find. Higdon's got some cheaper ones too. But, you know, if you're looking at the Avian X or something like that, you're up into like almost the 130 range probably for 6. So I got, you know, 8 of them for under that price shipped to my house. So definitely a good deal on those decoys. I can't speak for the paint or the durability of them yet, but I mean, the price is right on that.
I was trying to see. Oh, they are out of stock right now. So that is.
I don't doubt that.
I'm sure that didn't last long.
Yeah.
I was trying to see what the shells were.
Oh, so
they're out of stock too. $71.
Yeah, they're running some awesome sales, and their stuff's going quick. But you mentioned shells, and that jarred my memory. So I don't know if anybody else took advantage of this, but this time of year, the ammunition companies run some awesome rebates on shells, and I bought a case of Remington shells. I have no idea if they're any good, if they're gonna, you know, whatever. I bought 2s, the specs that I like, and after rebate, the whole case through Rogers, I got these for $60 after rebate. It's $100 rebate on this case of shells. So I got
Good
10
Lord.
boxes for $60. I mean, that is so filthy dirt cheap. I could not pass up an opportunity. So I picked those up too. So we'll see how those perform, getting away from the Winchesters that I like. But, you know, at that price, I'm an opportunist. Got to take advantage.
There you go. I will go next, and we're creeping up on $100 range, but $84.99, the Avian X Black Duck, fully flocked. And I don't have these, but walking through Field and Stream, it was just something that I just did a double take, and I was like, wow, those are nice. So, you know, if you have black ducks in your area and that's something you're looking into, $84.99, definitely a showstopper decoy. So Avian X does some great work for sure.
Yeah, I mean, their decoys look awesome. I mean, there's no question. I just worry about fully flocked duck decoys in general, because I'm not going to bag those in slotted bags. So those get beat to, you know, they sit on the end of my, my lifetime rigs. I throw them in the bed of my truck with the rhino lining. I mean, that crap would eat them up in 2 seconds.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you have discipline or the ability to take care of them, rock on, because those decoys look fantastic. But I just know for me, I would beat the tar out of those things and they'd look like crap in 2 seconds.
Yeah, you'd have to go with a slotted bag for those for sure.
Yeah.
Even I would think anything with a flocked head if you're trying to keep it on there.
Yeah, yeah, you might as well. I mean, that's the thing. If you're gonna make the investment in a more expensive decoy because it has flocking on it, you best to take care of it, or else you're just wasting your money. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So. All right. So for me, coming into the $100 mark, it's Pattern Master choke tubes. I mean, I switched to them a couple seasons ago. Haven't looked back. Won't look back. I'm a believer. I know everybody's not, and that's okay. I'm a believer. You can get just about every flavor that they offer for $100 or less. Again, it was noticeable improvement for me in dropping, just stoning birds. And again, this is a whole, a big thing on personal preference and all this other stuff. But it always comes up when you hear guys talking about choke tubes, full, modified, whatever, different brands of choke tubes and shotgun shells and what size to shoot for what type of birds and all this kind of stuff. And one of the reasons why I feel so confident in shooting twos all season long is, I can't remember how many times I've pulled up on Canada geese coming into my spread and just backflipping them things like a mallard, with that choke and that size. I'm infinitely confident that I can kill geese all the way through February. No problems asked. And, again, I feel like half the battle in the field is just having confidence in yourself, in your setup, right? If you're shooting a modified choke and you shoot double B out of it and you feel confident that works for you, then that's what you should shoot, because it's all about just knowing that when you shoulder that gun, you've got full confidence that what you're going to do, is going to work. And for me, putting in the Pattern Master choke tube just solidified that. And again, if you miss, you miss. That's okay. But if I hit a bird, it drops, and that's all I can ask. So I can't blame the gun. I can't blame the shells. I can't blame the choke. Only get to look at me if I screw it up, which I do a lot. I do that a lot, but I know it's not the gun. I don't have to guess that.
I've been guessing about the gun lately this season, but that's another conversation.
I've been guessing about your gun for several seasons. Particularly the cleanliness of said gun. Anyway.
It's been clean. The last couple of years, it's been clean.
It also hasn't worked the last couple of years.
But it's been clean. Anyway, hey, I have 2 items at 100 doll hairs.
Okay.
First, the Fast Strike blinds. We talked about them with the A-frame blind podcast, and I will reiterate those facts that it is light. You can get it in there. It has the overhead adjusters now. Just a great little product, $100, and it takes you from trying to hide a couple guys in some cattails into one location, totally concealed, super easy, and just a big fan. And I plan on using it even for late season honker hunting and some, if we could on the side of the lakes and do some diver hunting, I'll be using that for a little makeshift blind as well. So I think it's a great product, and I think I don't know if it's at Rogers or where it's at. Not always on their site, but $139, and it's always on sale for $99. So you could probably get it cheaper than that. But good price, a good product. I recommend it.
That's for the 2-arm version?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right. What's your other thing?
So my other thing is a recent purchase that I just made, and you'd probably make fun of me if I didn't talk something about Sitka, but the gunner glove, which it's $100, wind stopper. I don't usually hunt with a glove on my trigger finger in the late season, but I will be using this. So it's goat skin. It's a very it's nice. It's very smooth, and
goat skin. How does that handle water?
Goat skin. I didn't say it's waterproof.
No, I know that, but you're going to be duck hunting, so that's an obvious concern. Yeah.
Yeah, but not that much duck hunting.
Okay.
Not this late season. I mean, goose hunting, mostly field hunting. But anyway, but it has some different material on the fingers to where you can actually handle shells, and you can maneuver everything without, getting caught in your action or anything like that I usually have problems with. So, it actually just got here today. Great fit, and I cannot wait to use it. And I'll probably wear it around just whenever, being outside 12 degrees, plowing snow on my 4-wheeler tonight.
Yeah, I'm not a glove guy, so I have to take your word on that.
I hate gloves, but sometimes when it's single digits, low teens, to have it on for a little bit. So we'll see. If it works as a shooting glove, I would be ecstatic. If it doesn't, I won't be super surprised, but so far I like it.
Yeah, I've become a bigger fan of the muff option, or because normally I just keep my hands in my decoy, my wader pockets or whatever. Cause I can't call with gloves on. Just can't do it. Don't want to do it. I'm over that. And I don't like just shedding gloves and all that crap. So, I like the muff option. Tends to work out pretty good. But, problem with those is you pick up a duck you just shot and you can get a little moisture on your hands, a little water, and you jam it down in there, and now it's wet in there, and it just, is what it is. But anyway, okay, let's go to 200 bones. What do you got?
The tangle-free Optifade blind, layout blind. It's on sale for $197 right now. I don't know why you're laughing. You knew I was going to say that.
Oh my god!
Oh, $197. This is my list. You can have whatever you want on your list. But no, seriously.
I'm not. I don't know why you're getting defensive, Dan. I mean, don't get
the immediate
don't
laugh.
Get mad. I mean,
so anyway, in my situation, I have my original layout blind from I don't even know how many years ago.
That is the worst blind.
Yeah, you're not making fun of this. You're not making fun of this now. But yeah, it is bad. It is there's so many screws and
but I mean you
whatever
just spent
gorilla tape.
You just spent an episode of the show raving about the benefits of A-frame style.
Yeah.
It's okay though.
Yeah.
You know what? There are lots of applications for layout, so I'm not going to hate you there.
Yeah.
And I'll say I've got a tangle-free layout blind. It was one of the, I mean, shoot, this thing's probably 5 or 6 years old. It's back before they made a lot of blinds, and I think it was like I don't know. I want to say they were doing stuff with like Big Sean back in the day or something. Anyway, it's one of those versions, and that thing's a tank. I love it. Got 2 of them. Big fan.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, either way, I would like a new one, even if eventually I had multiple people coming with us and they could use it or whatever. But yeah, I need a new one because sometimes people, if I go with someone, I'm not going to dictate what kind of blind we hunt out of, especially if we have, early season, if we have, I don't know, 8 or 9 guys, we don't have the blinds to do that yet. As far as A-frame blinds.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's where we're at.
All right.
And we don't have I wish we had the, the pit blinds and, the build-ins everywhere that a lot of people have, but just not how it is. Not how it is around here.
Mm-hmm. So for me, the $200 range brings, I would have to, I'm going to go with an acrylic goose call. You could put duck call in there too if you want, but for me, it would be a goose call. And again, I know a lot of people don't spend that kind of money on calls. That's cool. Fine. No big deal. I like acrylic calls. I like expensive calls. Again, I've talked about the polycarbonate buzz for me that I just can't get over. But anyway, if I was going to buy a new call in the $200 range, I would be looking at either the Grounds G-Force, one of the zinc options, maybe, I don't know. Look, I don't know anything about the new call that they've got out. I can't even remember the name of it off the top of my head. But, the COD or the Nightmare on Stage, the previous runnings, I thought those were pretty good calls. I wouldn't mind having one of those. And then, Molt Gear's got a lot going on that, it just intrigues me. I've only blown one of their calls. Didn't love it, frankly, but it wasn't acrylic. It wasn't one of their top end calls. So I'd like to give them another shot. I think they do some pretty innovative stuff over there. But, I'd probably look at one of those 3 if I was in a $200 call range. I mean, obviously that's like the top line, top end of the market. So, any of those calls, particularly the Molt Gear probably, and even the Grounds, if you get it and you don't like it, you could go on Facebook and trade it. for something as equal quality or sell it and still get a pretty good return on your money. So, kind of low risk if you've got the money to spend on a call like that, of course. But lots of good options at $50 and under in the call in the call market as well. The only other thing I'll say too is if I was considering a duck call right now, I don't know why, but I find my eye being drawn to the elite duck calls a lot for some reason. So I might try one of those just to try something different. But again, I called you. We were texting the other day this week, and this is no lie. I saw 2 ducks flying on my way to drive to work on like Tuesday last week. And I thought to myself, oh, migration's on, because that's 2 more ducks than I normally see every other day. So we just don't get the puddlers around here like that to even worry about duck calls that much. So that's why I tend to lean towards the goose calls. But if I was hunting greenheads a lot, I'd probably look at one of those elite calls. I think they look pretty sharp.
That Havoc call that I've been running this year, I really like it. I tell you what, the RNT, the Daisy Cutter or Daisy's, whatever the Daisy one is.
Daisy Cutter, I think that's right.
Yeah, Daisy Cutter. It seems to stick when it gets cold.
You got
like
that?
No other call.
You have that call?
Huh? Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had a short barrel.
No. But that the Havoc call that I've been running this year is just, she's been a beaut. She's done really well. So haven't had any issues with that. And I don't know. I haven't really been to
R&T calls are kind of known to stick, right?
I don't know.
I think they get that rep in the streets. I don't have an R&T call, so I can't speak to it personally, but it seems like every time you hear somebody talk about that, it's something they bring up. So
I would like to try it. And I don't even know what the cost is, but some of the 737 calls, they seem to be just a lot of guys and groups talk about them all the time, and I think
pretty much the state of Montana is what you're talking about there.
Yep, they deserve a shot.
$145 for their acrylic duck calls.
145.
Yep.
Good.
Yep. And I always find it interesting, but their goose calls look like almost identical to their duck calls. Like, honestly, I'm looking at them in the Max Prairie Wings magazine, and I can see the difference because they're side by side. If they weren't side by side, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. You could hold up one of their nitro goose calls. I probably wouldn't know unless I saw like the bore on it or something. I don't think I'd know that's a duck call. That's a goose call. They look very similar to me.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, it's fine. I mean, I don't mind. I don't know. I think that when I first heard about that company and started looking at their stuff, I had a hard time kind of getting a grip on what they offered, because I just thought they all looked kind of similar. I mean, I think it's a cool looking call. I like the style. I've never used one. I don't know if I've ever heard one, to be honest with you. But I don't got any reason to believe that they're not quality. They got there you go. They do offer, my favorite calls, color combo is like the murdered out black, right? Like the flat matte with like the flat fill. Oh, I love that call.
Yeah.
I think that looks so bad, but yeah. So pretty much all the calls I have are as blacked out as I can get them for whatever manufacturer I offer, if they're not wood calls. So if I were getting a 737 call, I would definitely get the murdered out ones for sure.
There you go.
Yep. And
they're dirty.
Those new zinc calls I was talking about are the long neck rocker. I wish zinc would kind of tone down the graphics. That's the one thing that I don't love about it, and that's why I do like their wood calls. Usually they're less, graphicked out. These new ones got like, I don't know if it's broken glass or what it is simulating, but lightning bolts or something all over the place.
What's it called again?
The long neck rocker.
Long neck rocker.
Yeah. And then the duck calls are the green top rocker and the green head rocker. Yeah.
Huh.
Don't know anything about any of them, but that's the new offering. But they still offer the Call of Death, and I'm not seeing the Naughty by Nature or Nightmare on Stage, at least in Max. Doesn't mean they don't offer it anymore, but Yeah. And that's the thing too. I mean, if you're in the market for a call, I mean, there's a billion call companies out there that make quality calls. You know what I mean? It's like whatever fits your fancy. You know what I mean? They all blow a little bit differently, of course, but you can tune them to blow differently too if you don't like the way that they come. So you know, every call's got a little bit of flexibility in it usually. But I tend to gravitate to the ones that I can look at in the Cabela's and the Max catalogs because that's just, you know, what's easiest for me to get access to. I'm sure there's a million other call companies out there that I've never heard of that make fantastic calls. So whatever fits your fancy, you know?
Right.
All right. So let's go to the big ticket item. What's your big, you know, big purchase?
So here's, I would say if you're in the market, because it's not, I think in the intro you said kind of our dream purchase or something like that. If I was doing that, I'd throw a nice duck boat out there and get really dirty with it. But I think, you know, kind of my 200 plus item is I'm looking at a new shotgun because I have some issues with mine. So, the current leader right now is the A300 Beretta. You really cannot find a bad thing about it written anywhere.
Yep.
I mean, it seems like for the price point and the just lack of any negative comments anywhere that you can find on it, I don't see it. I think the only thing that I can find negative, you know, and owning a black gun myself is, you know, it'll get rusty. So do I want to go with the Max 5 that they have?
Yes, you do.
The Max 5, or they do have a Mallard edition that has like the forearm in the green, but still like the receiver and the barrel's black. So,
oh, is it black?
What's that? The Mallard?
The Mallard?
Yeah, the barrel's still black on it.
Yeah, but like the furniture is wood, isn't it? Or is it black?
No, it's black. So they have a wood A300 too, which is sweet, but I just can't.
Yeah, you don't want that. Yeah, I've seen the Mallard in person, and I thought
that's Cabela's only.
Yeah, the guy that we go with up in Maryland had one, and
really,
yeah, Casey, he had the Mallard. So I've seen
what?
Yeah, yep. So
what happened to the old? What did he used to have? 870?
He had an 870 that was like copper. It was so rusted.
It was so rusty.
But I think he got like a gift card or something that was like pretty substantial. So
yeah,
he got a gun, you know, whatever. But you know, again, I've had the A300 since the first year they came out. I think that gun's a tank. I love it. And you know, yeah, is the A400 a better gun? Yeah, probably is. Is it more comfortable? I have no doubt. You know, does it shoot 3.5? Yeah. Would I ever shoot 3.5? No. So yeah, I mean, there's benefits to that, but again, the price tag, you just have to weigh, is it justifiable for you to what you need? Definitely.
There's a synthetic and a wood
for the Mallard.
For the Mallard.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought so. Yeah. Yeah.
That wood's kind of slick looking though.
Yeah, I mean, knowing you, I would not recommend that you go with any kind of synthetic or wood. I think you need a dipped gun, and I wouldn't even, I mean, I think you're crazy to get anything but that. So whether you buy a black one and then you ship it off somewhere to get it dipped or whatever, that's up to you, but you need that dipping. I mean, it's just too easy to, you know, I mean, those black, you know, the black guns, you set it in the safe for, you know, set it aside one night and don't clean it. It'll rust overnight. It'll start to get a little bit of surface rust on it. I mean, it happens that quick.
It's crazy. Why can't they? I mean, why is that?
I don't know.
What year are we living in right now?
Yeah, I don't know. So
you have freaking cars outside for 20 years and never have any rust on them.
Right.
And you take a gun out in a freaking swamp, in a freshwater swamp, and then it sits one night, dries, and it's rusty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some shit.
I don't think I'll ever buy another waterfowl gun that's not dipped in something, because I just don't like cleaning guns enough to deal with that. And I mean, I've got an 870, pump action that I've had since I was 12, and it's got some rust on it because I just don't clean it. I'm not religious enough cleaning it.
Yeah.
And that gun sees very little moisture, right? I mean, that's like a sprinkle in the spring turkey woods. My gun that I duck hunt with, it's out in the, brackish water and all that crap. And I don't clean it, but maybe once or twice a season, and that thing goes boom every time. So I don't think you're going to be unhappy with that gun. It's got a lot of adjustability. You can, it's got a buttstock adjustability. It's got a, like the cast or whatever, the drop in the stock, like the pull adjustment, stuff like that. I mean, it's really customizable. You get a lot of bang for your buck at that price point, I think.
Yeah. And like I said, I really cannot find a bad review on it.
Yeah.
Or one, I mean, I think you'll get a couple, guys that love different brands, and they'll, scratch to the death and tell you how bad it is. But really, I mean, an honest review, you can't find a bad one.
I will say,
speaking of bad,
go ahead. No, finish your thought. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, speaking of bad reviews, that I still can't believe the SBE3. I mean, still to this day, people complaining about it shooting high. And I mean, some of these people that I'm reading are like world champion shooters,
right? That
know how to shoot. And I mean, it's not your average, Jim Bob going down to the store and shooting this. Like these guys are trained, and they have made every adjustment to that gun possible. And it is still, I was reading it. It was in the stock. It seems like when it fires, it's too flimsy, like the new,
like the recoil reduction system.
Yeah, like that is too flimsy compared to what they used to have. They were trying to make it softer on the shoulder, but in fact, it just lifted the gun up when it fires. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising, and again, it's like that kind of feeds into what I was going to say with my point, because I feel like as waterfowlers, we're actually in a really unique place where you can get a semi-auto shotgun of really great quality at that entry level price. The Stoeger, M3000 or M3500, the Beretta, and I know there's the Franke, there's some other options that are not break your back price that are just awesome guns, and I mean, right. Yeah, do they have the fancy reduction system? No. And do they have this? No. And do they have that? No. But like, for functionality of a semi-auto shotgun, they have everything that you need, if that's what you want to do. Right. And I mean, it's like, I kind of compare it to the whole, Toyota makes Toyotas and they make Lexuses. If you buy a Lexus, paralleling that off the SB3, you don't expect to have like these little issues that you would expect that you may see from time to time in the entry, in the lower line product, right? So, again, Benelli it just surprises me that they're having these issues. I mean, I guess anytime a new product comes out where you try to innovate, you set yourself up for this kind of thing, but you would have thought that they had tested this out pretty rigorously to ensure that they're not going to have a situation like this, because short of reliability on the function and the cycling of the gun and the firing aspect of itself, accuracy is kind of like right up there as far as like, if you're a gun manufacturer and you're making an inaccurate gun, you can't expect to be very successful with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For $1,800.
Right.
Or whatever they run.
Don't get me wrong. When I've shouldered the Super Black Eagle 3, that thing is dead sexy. I mean, it feels awesome in the hand. Mm-hmm. I mean, it feels, when I shoulder a Super Black Eagle, even the 2s, when I shoulder one of those, it's like whoever built that gun built it for me. Like when I put it to my shoulder, it feels amazing. But I was always scared of the Benelli click. Didn't love that. SB3 kind of, man, I don't know. Then I turn around and I look at my Beretta and I beat that thing, and it just keeps coming back for more. And it's just kind of like, well,
what else you got?
Yeah. I mean, if it's not broke, why, why fix it? It's like I got the, you're married to a gal that loves you. She may not be a 10, but she's a good chick or whatever. And you got the supermodel over there.
She's a good cook.
You got the supermodel over there giving you the eye, and she might look good, but a lot of issues that may come along with that. And that's kind of where I'm at on the whole Beretta thing. So I think you should buy an A300.
Yeah, I think I'm getting close.
And your chokes are right? Your pattern master should transfer right over.
I believe so.
Yeah. If you get an A300, you have to buy a new one. Or an A400, you have to buy a new one.
Yeah.
So there's another $100.
You just saved me. Yep.
Okay, so I think the only thing we got left is my over the top price. And again, I'm like you. If money was no object, I'd be buying a boat, all that crap. I don't have that situation. So for me, my over the top gift would be coming off of last episode, the Tango Free panel blinds. I just think that's a really innovative product. And yes, could I fabricate something myself that's similar to that? Maybe. But it's not going to fold down and pack as nice and have like the fit and finishes and stuff. So, if you're looking for something that you can wrap up, throw in the bed of your truck, throw in your trailer, throw in the hatchback of your car, if that's what you're hunting out of or whatever, that's going to do it. And you can take that thing everywhere. Super portable, the flexibility. I just love it. And, I wish they weren't $300 or whatever they cost. It's probably why I don't own one or any of them yet. But, again, if we're kind of throwing that, just throwing it around, play Monopoly money, that's where I'd be at because I think it's just a really cool product.
With the snow cover and the topper.
Yeah. And you know what? I should have put a snow cover in there somewhere on my list because that's a $70 to $90 item usually. Right. But that is critical money spent. If you're hunting in snow and you're trying to do it any other way, forget it.
That could be the Christmas MVP right there.
If you're hunting in snow and you don't have a snow cover, because I encourage you, next time you got snow on the ground, go out and throw a towel or a white sheet over and look how blue it looks up against that snow. Mm-hmm. It's just, you can't do it.
Hey, so going back to your brown camo.
Oh, Jesus.
How would a brown blind stick out in a snowy field?
It'd stick out like crazy. What do you think?
And hence the MVP snow cover. It's very important.
Yeah,
I'm glad that Matt. We're all snow covered up finally up here after a couple years.
Yeah, well, you guys.
And it's a game changer.
When you're hunting late honkers where you're at, you're pretty much in snow all the time. So, where I'm at, I don't think I've hunted in snow yet. That's accumulated on the ground. So, yeah, I don't need a snow cover, but up where you guys are, no question, got to have it. So, All right, Dan, any other items you want to add to the Christmas list that you think we missed?
I think there's tons of stuff I'd throw on there, but I think I think that's a good list. Covered a lot of different areas. I think a boot dryer, a cheap, not even expensive boot dryer is critical, and that's even one to throw gloves on. We could talk about decoy gloves, and there's all kinds of stuff we can go into, but yeah, being dry and comfortable is.
I could spend some money in the Max Prairie Wings catalog. There's no question. But again, we're already at an hour and it's like, we could talk about this crap all day. I will say one other thing too. We haven't mentioned it yet, but, if you're looking for a nice portable GPS solution or something to help you, contact landowners and things like that, Onyx is a really great tool for that. If you're interested, you can get a discount code through us, HP Outdoors. All lowercase, one word. The caveat with that is you have to do it online on your computer, not on your phone, for the code to work. But again, love that. If you want to do an elite membership, you get all the states, or you can get just your state. The code works for all. So definitely check that out if you're in the market for Onyx. You can get what is it, Dan? Like 10 or 20% off, something like that.
20%.
20%. So pretty good savings there.
20.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. And with there's no limit on supporting the podcast. If you want to go on our site and click that button as well, so
correct.
It's another option for a Christmas present.
We do appreciate charitable donation.
There you go.
And thank you to everyone that has donated. That's we've tried to acknowledge everybody, at least that's in the group that's been doing it and stuff like that. We do appreciate that, and don't take it lightly when you guys make contributions. So thank you to all of you that have done that. And just kind of foreshadowing here a little bit, I think we're going to probably do a listeners question Q&A kind of episode coming up. So if you've got questions that you want us to discuss, make sure you get them in. We've got a bunch that have popped up that we'll go back and we'll accumulate some of those. I will say this. You can email us at info@hpoutdoors.com. However, that's not the best way to get a hold of us because 1, Dan doesn't check that email. 2, I don't have access to my phone like most of the time. So, you may go a while without getting an email response if you email us, and I apologize in advance for that. That's just the reality of it. If you want to get something to us quickly or hit us up on the HP group, send us a message on Facebook or Instagram, send something directly to us. You can DM, me, Josh Palm, or Dan Harushka. You can email, DM one of us directly. Hit us on Instagram. I'm Josh_Palm. You are D Harushka1. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, those are just so much easier for us to get to, mainly because if you send it to one of us, through those messages channels, you're going to probably get at least one of us looking at it. If you send an email, you're at the mercy of me finding it on my phone and remembering to respond to it. So, if there's any in there that I haven't responded to, I apologize, and I will try to look through there, do my best.
I still don't know why I just can't get that on my phone, and I have the D Harushka at HP Outdoors, and that works fine, but the info one, I just cannot get it to link up, so I don't know what's going on.
It's probably a user error situation.
Most likely.
Yeah. And I'm sure you've been working steadfastly to get that rectified.
Well, I spend 7 of 8 hours of my workday on the Facebook group, so
I was going to say you're active on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have the luxury of being around the internet most of the time during the day. So, yeah, I go in phases.
That's why I don't understand why a lot of the guys get so upset. I mean, they talk to me all day, every day, and they get upset that we don't, record all the time. But
my favorite quote is when people say that wars were won faster than we put out episodes.
America
favorite.
wins wars faster.
Yeah, that's my favorite. But hey, we're at least doing our best to stay on the monthly schedule. So at least that's better than what we've done. So anyway, what else we got? Anything else you want to cover here before we go?
2018-19 duck stamp will be mallards again.
Good.
So that's cool.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
All right,
hey,
I'm done.
When are you going to Maine? Is that soon?
Yes. I guess I shouldn't give exact dates for other reasons, but January we will be going up to Maine, and it is it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be sea ducks only. I think we're getting up there as the season for regular ducks and geese goes out. So we'll get up there, fly in, get to the local Cabela's or whatever shops they have up there, get our license, and go out that next couple days, and then fly back.
Are you DIYing it, or are you going through a guide?
DIY.
Nice.
Yep.
That's cool.
With a couple guys out of a couple of the listeners of the show. So,
that's something
got the hookup.
That's something we need to do more of, because we get.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome. We get invited all the time to go places and hunt with guys through the show, which is super cool. And I'd love to do that, just to get out and because it's funny. Social media is such a weird thing, right? You develop these relationships with people online, and I mock people, or I shouldn't say I. Historically, people would be like mocked about like online dating and all that crap, but like you develop friendships with people through social media that you've never met. But it's like, right. I had no doubt that if you or I were sitting at a bar having beers and one of any of these dudes walked in, like, it would be like we've known each other for a long time. It's just really interesting how that happens. And I'd love to have the opportunity to hunt with a bunch of these guys that, and gals that are in the group and talk to us. So that's something that I think would be cool if we were able to try to do a little more of that and get out and meet some more of the listeners and do that stuff. And also I will say, I'm really proud of the effort that the listeners group put in on the Sitka Diverge, contest recently. That was a really great,
how about it?
Really great effort from the guys and gals in the group. One of the guys obviously in the group, had a photo, chosen, and, we like to think that we put a pretty good effort in as a collective team to help push that photo to the win, which it did in the waterfowl category. So really, really awesome job, and appreciate everybody kind of getting behind a good cause there for us.
Yeah, and a great photo.
Yeah,
Stephen Kornacki.
No doubt. Yep.
Good work.
Yep, great shot. No doubt. All right, man. Anything else you want to hit here before we wrap this puppy up?
No. Good luck this weekend, and I hope you knock some down. Finally getting out. I'm jealous too. Now. It's funny how you're jealous of me early season, but I mean, when we don't have ducks.
Well, I mean, when are you coming to Virginia, dude? When are you coming?
I need to.
Haven't hunted with you in like literally 3 years. That's just,
I know,
That is unsatisfactory.
Yep.
Needs to be addressed.
Yes.
We'll handle that off.
We'll do it. Yep.
All right, let's get out of here.
All right, dude.
All right, thanks for checking out episode 67 of the HP Outdoors Waterfowl Podcast. And here Dan and I talk about our Christmas list. We want to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. Hopefully you're able to use the time to get away from work a little bit, get out in the field, spend some time with family and friends, and enjoy the holiday season. If you're on your way to the duck blind, introduce a friend to the HP Outdoors Waterfowl Podcast. Check out all those past episodes on iTunes. If you hadn't had a chance yet, please go onto iTunes and think about giving us a 5-star review. We greatly appreciate it. So until next time, for Dan, I'm Josh. Take care.